Trying to take a thumbnail, everyone. Hold on, I got this.
Hello my shiny baes, hello my besties. I am here because it's mid-year, middle of the year. We are 6 months out, 6 months to go. It's like if you don't shut me up, I'll just keep talking. And that's the issue. I am going to be doing a mid-year tag. I saw my bestie Sarah do this, my angel, my girl queen. Mwah! Love you so much. And I thought it was so cool to like just kind of go through the books that I've read this year and answer these tag questions. I'm gonna leave them in the description, so if you wanna do it too. Here's the thing, my rule for this is I can't repeat a book, so I can't put the same book for several questions, because if I could, I would just do like Boys of Tommen for the entire thing. Can't do that, you know? I mean, I can, but it would be boring. So my rule to myself is I'm not gonna do that. And then also, I just posted a video about my top 10 of the year, and I'm gonna try not to repeat any of those either, because you've already seen it. The only two that I did repeat are the first two questions, because I couldn't not do it. Once you see it, you'll understand. But other than that, it's all different books. We don't want to be bored over here. That's like my least favorite thing, boredom. Like, you can say anything about me, but if you say that I'm boring, that's it. Hands will be thrown. I will cry, I will sob while throwing hands.
Where are the questions?
Hello? Oh, here they are. Best book you've read so far in 2023. Now, this is where I'm gonna repeat myself, because obviously, I couldn't not do this. As we know, I read Finding and Keeping 13 last year, so I couldn't include those, but Saving 6 and Redeeming 6, I read it this year. So these are definitely my favorite books of all time, of all year. Nothing's gonna top it. The year's not even over, but I just know that nothing can top these. Unless Chloe Walsh releases the rest of the series, this is gonna be untoppable. Untoppable? Unstoppable? Unbeatable?
Impossible.
You guys know, I talk about the Boys of Tommen series enough, but I just need to reiterate, please read this. Please read this. If you get anything from this channel, it's to read this series, read Addicted Calloway, read Magnolia Parks. I promise, life-changing books. Like this made me not want to read any more romance books, because I'm like, wow, I've reached the peak. This is it. It can only go downhill from here. That's depressing. Saving 6 and Redeeming 6, Joey and Nifa's story. It is childhood, best friends to lovers. It deals with a lot of heavy subjects. It deals with addiction. There's a lot to these books. Please search up trigger warnings before you read any of the Boys of Tommen series. It's not your typical romance book. Like, it has amazing, impeccable romance, but it also has so much found family, so many heavier topics. You get to know all of the characters so well. I feel like these are my friends. Like, these are my people. You know, I will ride for them till the end of time. Yeah, favorite books of the year.
Tell me something I don't know.
The second question is also one that I'm gonna repeat, and that's best sequel you've read so far this year. Now, is this a sequel? Technically, it is the second book in the series, but it's not like a sequel. They're interconnected standalones, you know, so you don't need to read one to read the other, but this is my favorite sequel of the year, and that's The Right Move by Liz Tomford. I read Mile High last year. I adored it. I thought nothing could ever beat that book, but then I read The Right Move. Liz said, think again, Larissa, because something is going to beat that book. Ryan Shea and Indy, wow. Roommates, okay, forced proximity, fake dating, grumpy sunshine, slow burn, really spicy, but also a lot of depth as well. So fucking funny, sports romance. It has everything. It has everything. And this book taught me that quiet loves are the best. We don't need someone to be loud as fuck, okay? Me says that as the loudest woman this town has ever seen. But like, the quiet love is the best kind of love, and this book proves that. Please read The Right Move, Liz Tomford. This is definitely my favorite sequel I've read this year. So those are the only two books that I did repeat from the video I was telling you guys about, my top 10, and that's because I could not physically not include these here. Other than that, these are all brand new ones that I didn't include in that video. So, new release you haven't read yet but want to. I have two for this one, because two books came out recently that I'm like, ooh, I want to read this so bad, and I just haven't gotten around to it. These two right here. The Plus One, Maisie Eddings, and then Once More with Feeling, Alyssa Sussman. I read both books by these authors last year. The first one of this, which is Funny You Asked Me, Funny You Asked, Funny You Should Ask. And then the first one of this, which was Brush with Me, A Brush with Love. A Brush with Love. I read both of those last year. Didn't like A Brush with Love. Liked Funny You Should Ask. Didn't love either of them, but I feel like these will be better, so I'm very excited. The Plus One looks really good. It's like a wedding thing. It says, warning, falling for your childhood nemesis can cause complications of the heart. Interesting, I love complications of the heart. It says she's not looking to fix him. She's looking to love him if he'll let her in. Ooh, is he damaged? Immediately, yes. You know, Klaus Michelson, Jax Teller. I love me a damaged main character. I really do. The Plus One, Maisie Eddings, and this looks adorable, so I really want to get to this one. And then Once More with Feeling. I really don't know what this is about, I'm not gonna lie. It says a former pop star finds herself back in the spotlight along with an old flame in this friends to lovers meets enemies to lovers story. Oh, friends to lovers meets enemies to lovers, so they're both? And it kind of looks like a second chance too, because it says old flame. Wow, she said how many tropes can I put in this book without it being too much? The limit does not exist. These are the 2 new releases. I think these came out at some point this month or maybe last month, and I do own them. I just haven't read them, but I will. Okay, the next question is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I really wanted to pick just one for this one, but I have several, so I'm gonna put them on the screen. Here are the ones that I'm most excited for. Things We Left Behind, it comes out September 5th. Caught Up, Liz Tomford, it's the next one in the Windy City series. That comes out October 10th. Iron Flame, of course, that comes out November 7th. I'm the most excited for that one. The Long Game and Elena Armis, that comes out September 5th. Hopeless LZ Silver, that comes out October 13th. Wildfire by Hannah Grace comes out October 3rd. And then Love Redesigned, Lauren Asher, comes out November 7th. I couldn't pick just one for this. Come on. Let's be for real. I would say Iron Flame is definitely up there because after reading Fourth Wing, you know we need that next book immediately. Things We Left Behind, because Sloane and Lucian are going to be the best couple in that series. I just already know. They already slay, and I don't even have their book. Caught Up, because it's going to be single dad, sports romance, and I feel like it can possibly beat The Right Move because Liz just outdoes herself every damn time. Hopeless, obviously, by LZ Silver. It's the last book in the Chestnut Spring series, and that is going to be Beau's story with Bailey. I'm already so excited. His is gonna be the best book. I already know. And then of course, The Long Game, Elena Armis, y'all. It's about football. It's about football, finally. I don't have a lot of football books besides like Colty is my favorite, and I have read some other ones, but I just didn't love them. Colty's the only one that I gave 5 stars, but I feel like The Long Game could possibly be a 5-star. I'm very excited. I love Elena Armis. Spanish Love Deception is one of my favorites. Speaking of, The Air in Blackford, let's sip. Of course, Love Redesigned. Of course, Wildfire. I don't even remember who Wildfire is about. It's the next book after Icebreaker. I think his name is Bradley. No, it's not. Don't quote me on that. I don't know what his name is. I'm excited. So clearly, the second half of the year is going to be fully booked. No one bother me. Do not disturb, please. The next question is biggest surprise. Okay, I have a series for this one because I picked up this series like randomly on Kindle. Didn't know a single thing about it. And I just wanted to read something quick and dark and mafia and spicy. And this series surprised the hell out of me. Sinners Anonymous. The first book is Sinners Anonymous. Yep. The second book is Sinners Condemned, and then the third book is Sinners Consumed, and she has more coming. That's another anticipated read too. The fourth book in the series is coming out this year. I'm so excited. It's about brothers. It's like about brothers in the mafia, and the first book is one couple, the second 2 is another couple, and then I'm guessing the last couple is going to get 2 more books. But these are literally just like spicy mafia romances, but make them really quick. They're not life-changing. They're not books that I read and I was like, wow, this honestly like changes the trajectory of my life. But they were so fun, which is exactly what I needed in that moment. So this was the biggest surprise for me because usually when I pick up a random book just to like get out of a slump or something, it's just, I forget about it. But no, these have been engraved in my memory because they were so much fun. I would highly recommend if you want a spicy series, a mafia series. Yes. Favorite new author, debut or new to me? I obviously needed to include a thriller in here because that has been my shit in the past couple months. So Alice Feeney is definitely a new to me author that I've been enjoying a lot. I read Rock, Paper, Scissors by her, absolutely loved, and right now I'm reading His and Hers and I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, this is definitely an author I'm gonna keep reading more books by because I really, really like her writing style. She gives just enough detail in her mysteries without giving too much, and she takes me for a fucking ride. Like, I'm always so confused until the very end, which is exactly what I want from a thriller. I want it to shock me, and she has shocked me so far. So I will be reading more books by her. Newest fictional crush. I'm excited for this one because you're gonna be very proud of me. Are you ready? Are you ready? Drum roll, please. Aaron Warner, baby. I started reading the Shatter Me series this year, and Aaron quickly became one of my favorite fictional men of all time. I'm very excited to keep reading him. He's just so funny, morally gray, wants to protect her at all costs, but also knows how powerful she is and doesn't underestimate her. I haven't even gotten to like the best books in the series yet, and I'm already obsessed with this man. What am I gonna do when I get to the rest and he becomes my entire personality? I don't know. I apologize for the person that I will become, but Aaron Warner, most definitely. If you haven't read Shatter Me, take this as a sign to do so because I was really late to this series and I wish I would have read it sooner. What are we gonna do? You know, better late than never is what they say. out there. A book that made you cry. I was gonna go for the obvious Full Tilt, but since I've already talked about it so much, I didn't want to go for that one. This is another book that I cried at. I didn't sob, but I did cry, and that's the way I used to be. This book basically is told in 4 parts. It's like freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, and senior year, and it's this girl, Eden, who gets sexually assaulted, and it's her trying to rebuild her entire life after that, and it's very, very sad, very deep. I wanted to jump through this book and choke all of the characters besides Eden in one other character. Literally. Everybody else I was like, I hate you. So this book angered me. This book made me physically ill. This book made me cry. And I think that's exactly what the author wanted from a book like this. It's a lot. When I wasn't angry, I was crying. I honestly haven't cried in many books this year so far, so I don't even have that many options. Maybe books in the second half of the year will make me cry, but I honestly am trying to get away from crying in books. I already cry enough just like in life. You know what I mean? I don't need to be crying in books. A book that made you happy. I'm so excited to talk about this one. I just finished reading this book and it made me giddy the entire time. The Summer of Broken Rules, y'all. This book is the perfect summer rom-com. It's funny, it's cute, it has such good family dynamic, but also it has some deep topics as well. Basically, you follow Meredith Fox and it's told from her POV, and she lost her sister 18 months ago in like this tragic accident, and now she's kind of trying to rejoin the world again, and she goes to this summer vacation with her family that they go to every year in Martha's Vineyard, and they play a game of assassin that her family always plays. Basically, everybody has water guns. You get like a little paper that tells you who you have to metaphorically assassinate, and then you go around playing. And it's so fun, and there's also a wedding going on for Meredith's cousin, and so she meets one of the groomsmen and she forms a little alliance with him to help each other out in Assassin, and they start to get to know each other. So there's romance, and the romance is so good. It is Fade to Black, not spicy at all. It's like borderline YA. I don't know if it's like classified as a YA, but it is Fade to Black. Loved Meredith's family. I loved like her grandparents, her parents, her cousins, and all her friends. I loved her. I loved Wit. I loved everybody in this book. I loved the summer feels. Like, I was sitting on my couch, but it felt like I was at Martha's Vineyard playing Assassin with these people and like going to the lake and going to get pies. Like, it was so feel good. If you like Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter and Today, Tonight, Tomorrow by Rachel Lynn Salomon, I think you'll really like this book. And it's full of Taylor Swift references. Like, sprinkled throughout the entire fucking book is Taylor Swift references. Like, hardcore ones too, where she'll put the song in there. Like, she puts Lover. She puts I Think He Knows. It's so good. The entire time I was giddy. I was smiling from year to year. This book made me so happy. It made me forget everything in life. And I think that's what you want from a really cute book. You just want to escape. This does that. Most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received. These are the special editions of the Never After series that were sent to me. And I think it's the most beautiful editions I've ever owned in my life. Look at this. This is Hooked. Look. Look at the edges. Look at the back. And then we have Scarred, which is personally my favorite book and my favorite edition because look at this. Look at the gold sprayed edges. And then we have Wretched as well. Oh my God. Are you kidding? These are like my prized possessions. I don't think I'm ever gonna own special editions more beautiful than these. Just like take a look. Hold on, let me focus on them. Look at this. Look at this. Are you looking? Are you looking with your eyeballs? Definitely these. They're more beautiful than anything. They're more beautiful than sunshine and rainbows. Mwah. And last but certainly not least, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? So obviously, yeah, every single one of those and every single one of the ones that are in that bookshelf right there and the floating shelves and sitting around my house, I want to just read every single paperback I own, but we all know that's not fucking possible because I will keep buying books. So I picked one specific series that I really want to read by the end of the year. I'm gonna make it my mission. That's ACOTAR. Yeah, I know, A Court of Thorns and Roses. You guys have been yelling at me, screaming, crying, throwing things for me to read this series, and that's the one thing I want to do. Now that I'm like going through Shatter Me, that was my #1 priority. So when I finish, this is the series I want to get through this year. My mission is to read all of ACOTAR. I want to know what is up with, what's her name? Feyre? Feyre. She kills a wolf in the woods. Faye. Tamlin. I want to get to know all these characters. I really do. So, A Court of Thorns and Roses. That is all my beautiful Shutty Bays for my mid-year tag. I hope you enjoyed it. Answer some of the questions down below if you'd like. I left them in the description so you guys can also play. I love you guys so much. I hope you have such a good day.